Hello, my name is Grace Mickelson, and this presentation summarizes my work as the social media manager for BUHI during the simulation. I'll walk you through our goals, my strategy, what I learned, our crisis management, and the growth the company achieved. My CMO goals. When I started, the CMO gave me clear goals. First, I was expected to spend the full $5,000 weekly budget. I was also asked to follow a 25 to 75 split between content creation and promotion. Beyond that, the goals were to grow brand awareness, increase engagement, boost sales by 10%, and ultimately outperform the other teams in overall revenue. My goals for Boohee, my personal goals were based on the CMO's direction, but I added my own strategy. First, I focused on building a strong awareness foundation so future promotions would convert better. I wanted to improve engagement using lifestyle-driven content. I used influencers strategically and shifted in conversion-heavy content in their later rounds. Throughout the simulation, I tried to keep Boohee's brand voice consistent, aesthetic, and modern. My marketing plan overview. My plan focused on consistent posting, mixing content types, and strategically using influencers and boosts. I adjusted each week based on what the analytics showed. I also picked like really outdoorsy photos that fit the brand. My simulation strategy, my strategy started with awareness and engagement. Midway through, I used influencers and boosted my better performing posts. Near the end, I focused on conversion. I also had one round freeze, so I couldn't post, but I recovered by posting extra the next round. What worked and what didn't? I learned my audience responded best to reels, aesthetic content, and short captions. Influencers definitely helped. What didn't work were long captions, repeated content, and the round that froze, which hurt that week's performance. I would say overall, though, I think I used too long of captions and too many hashtags. Crisis management. During the simulation, I actually didn't get a crisis like a product recall or customer complaint. My crisis was technical. The simulation glitched during one of the rounds and it froze while I was adding posts to my lineup. Because it didn't save any of the content I selected, that round performed really badly. My impressions dropped, and revenue for that week was much lower than it should have been. To recover, I adjusted my strategy in the next round. I focused heavily on the content types I already knew worked well: Reels, lifestyle posts, and influencer partnerships. I also pushed more conversion-focused posts to make up the lost ground. By staying consistent and doubling down on what had been performing earlier, I was able to pull my numbers back up. Even though that bad round hurt my momentum, the following round recovered well and my overall performance still improved. The channels I used were Instagram, Facebook, X, Twitter, Pinterest, influencers, and paid boosters. My top performer, though, was Instagram, as it had the best results. My final results, I drove over 7 million impressions, over 323,000 engagements, nearly 49,000 followers, and earned $333,690 in revenue. Even with the frozen round setback, I still performed strongly and recovered quickly. My recommendations to for Boohie moving forward, I recommend focusing on Instagram Reels, continuing influencer relationships, shifting to more conversion-focused posts, reducing Facebook spend, and maintaining a consistent posting schedule. Thank you for watching my presentation. I really enjoyed the simulation and learned a lot about social media strategy.